Okay, sorry if the camera's a little crooked. This tripod's really hard to work with. Probably need to get a new one. But anyways, I just got back from seeing Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And there will probably be spoilers in this because it's just gonna be me rambling about the movie after I saw it. So, anyways, just to give you an overall thing, I'll try to keep it spoiler free and then I'll start with the spoilers. But, this is a really great movie. I really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite Marvel film, but then again, I'm a little biased since I'm a Thor fanboy, so the Thor movies sort of beat that out, but you can take that with a grain of salt since it's just my fanboy going over there. But yeah, I think out of all the Marvel films, this one would be my fourth favorite, and if you discount Thor, second favorite, because I really loved Iron Man 3 just a little bit more than this. Not much, just a little. But yeah, other than that, like, this is a really, really great film. So go see it if you haven't already, but you probably already have if you're watching this review. Yeah. Some things that I liked about it. This is getting more into spoiler territory, I guess, because like most people who review trying not to spoil anything, most of the movie is a spoiler for stuff. So the movie is about Captain America dealing with the Winter Soldier, which if you've been reading the comics, you know who the Winter Soldier is. Or if you don't read the comics and but you watched that Marvel Cinematic Universe documentary they showed a couple weeks ago, you know who the Winter Soldier is. Like, they just gave up towards the end of that. They really did. Which, I mean... But, I mean, even if you didn't, they forced... Well, they didn't exactly force it, but they foreshadowed it enough that you would have got it by the time it was revealed in the actual movie. But, yeah. And, like most Marvel movies that have a subtitle, the subtitle isn't really the main focus of the movie. That's the big spoiler. Because the movie isn't so much about Captain America fighting the Winter Soldier as it is Captain America fighting the dissolution of S.H.I.E.L.D. by Hydra. Which, really, I mean, when has a Marvel subtitle actually had anything to do with the major plot? Captain America, the first Avenger. Really doesn't mean much because the Avengers don't really play into the plot of the movie. It's just the beginning and the end is when all that stuff happens. Thor: The Dark World. There's like maybe half an hour actually in the Dark World. Most of it's either on Earth or on Asgard. It's mostly there. There's barely any actual Dark World stuff happening. Sure, there's that big action scene in the Dark World, but really it doesn't really play that big a role. Even because the climax takes place on Earth, because Earth is the center of the universe, apparently. I don't know. But let's see, what else? So yeah, the Winter Soldier, not really the main focus of the film. He's actually not in it all that much. Which I sort of find clever. In the film, the Winter Soldier is a cover-up for Hydra being a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, of course, in all the marketing for the film, they would cover up the fact that the Winter Soldier is just a cover for Hydra being a big part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sort of like in Iron Man 3, where they had all the stuff about Ben Kingsley's Mandarin, where in the movie it's revealed that he's just an actor, and they barely focus on the actual main villain of the movie, which I didn't hate that twist. I actually quite enjoyed it because I felt it bettered the purpose of the movie. It wasn't just there to do something else and just be there for the sake of a twist for the comic readers. Like this one, if you've read the comics, pretty much every identity is exactly the same. The Winter Soldier is the same as the comics. You know, and there's some other stuff too. But yeah, this film, really good. The performances were all good. Sam Jackson, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie, blonde girl, I forget her actress's name. She was good in like the 5 minutes we saw her, but it looks like she's going to be playing a bigger part in either Avengers Age of Ultron or Captain America 3. Because she's Sharon, which if you've read the comics you know exactly what her last name is. Unless they change it on us, but I don't think they will because she's Agent 13. Then again, I haven't really read the comics, so I don't know much about that. I've read enough to know what happens when, but it's the events just all blend together in my head, and the characters. I'm really bad at remembering stuff. Like, the only things I can actually remember are like song lyrics to songs that I've heard a million times, and quotes to movies I've seen a million times. Like, I can quote Bubble Boy, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Big Fat Liar, and don't think I've seen Thor enough because it's rather recent since I've gotten to comic books and comic book movies. Yeah, I wasn't much. When growing up, I didn't really like action films, and for me, comic book meant action. So I skipped out on most of them. That all changed in 2012 when I saw, not the Avengers. I didn't actually see the Avengers in theaters. I didn't see any of the Marvel movies in theaters. Actually, wait, no, we saw the Iron Man films in theaters, Iron Man and Iron Man 2. But those were the only Phase 1 Marvel movies we saw in theaters. And then in 2012, I watched The Dark Knight Rises. It's contested and DC, and I know it had nothing to do with Captain America, but that got me into the comic book movie world because I really enjoyed that movie. It's my second favorite Batman film. First being Batman Forever, because Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones makes everything better, which is why Captain America: The First Avengers is really high on my list, because he was in that and he was good. He's in this one as a photo, and yeah. But yeah, so also a lot of people, like the fans and some members of production, are calling this Avengers 1.5. I can see that because this changes everything. At the end of the film, S.H.I.E.L.D's destroyed, which is gonna cause problems for agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I guess Coulson and his team are gonna be S.H.I.E.L.D. as a splinter group or something like that. I don't know. Tuesday's gonna be interesting, because I saw this Saturday after it came out. so Tuesday would be the episode after this movie came out, which ties into this movie. I'm really worried about Simmons, because she was in S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters when all this stuff went down. She was the only one. I hope Triplet was a good guy, because I hope Triplet wasn't part of Hydra, because if he was, then oh gosh, Fitz is gonna have to save Simmons. That'll break the love triangle, which sort of is a love triangle. Fitz gets jealous, but I don't think he even knows what he's feeling. But that could just be the fanfic writer and me talking. Anyways, this Winter Soldier movie, like I said, I really liked it, and basically if I were to state every reason why I liked it, I'd basically be recounting the entire movie. I'm trying to think of any negatives I had about it. Stuff doesn't really bother me in movies. Like, the only way to actually get me to not like a movie all that much is really if you just make it boring. That's the only reason I can hate a movie. Like, I can enjoy a movie if it's stupid. I can enjoy a movie if it makes no sense, just as long as it's not boring. Maybe that's why I don't like The Dark Knight all that much, but I digress. It's been like a year since I've actually seen it last, because I rewatched it after The Dark Knight Rises, just to see if I liked the movie any better. But, yeah, I don't know. I would have never given The Dark Knight Rises a shot if it hadn't been for Source Code. Source Code was the first action film that actually got me into action films, which is weird because it's not a standard action film. Yeah, I'm more of a comedy guy. I guess that's why I like the Marvel films better than the DC films, because the DC films try to be all super serious, and the Marvel films know that they can be super serious and yet still have some fun with it. I don't know. But yeah, and I'm excited for Age of Ultron. I'm super excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. This was the first time I got to see the trailer in theaters, in 3D. Got to see the trailer. It was cool. Hearing "Hooked on a Feeling" in the theater sound, that just was cool. That was really awesome. Wasn't that packed? I saw it at 7 on Saturday. Maybe part of the reason that wasn't so crowded is that everybody saw it on Friday, and so they could party on Saturday. I don't know. It wasn't like we were the only ones there. Like, there were other people there besides us. But I still can't believe there are stupid people out there who don't know there's after credits scenes in Marvel movies. I can understand leaving after the mid-credit scene because you probably never watched, because they probably didn't watch Thor: The Dark World to know that Phase 2 movies were now having 2 after-credit scenes. Because Iron Man 3 only had 1, I think. I think Iron Man 3 only had the 1 with Tony talking to Bruce, because they had the cool credit scene, and then I think it just went to regular credits. There wasn't a mid-credit scene. Thor: The Dark World had the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then him coming back to Earth. And now Captain America has Age of Ultron with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And then Bucky goes to the Captain America section of the Smithsonian to learn. Well, it's not really the Captain America section. It's more the Howling Commandos section, because all the Howling Commandos are on display. And Bucky goes and looks at his sign and tries to figure out who he is. Well, those portrayed a lot more ominously than I thought it would have been. Because, you know, there were rumors about those being the after-credit scenes. I thought it would have been like a hopeful thing, like he starts to remember who he is. No, there was like music that started screaming and he was learning who he was. If those were his memories, that sort of makes sense, like screaming. But yeah. Hopefully, Yeah, this was really good. Let's see, in the total list of things, favorite Marvel movies from the MCU. Depends on the day. Either Thor or Thor the Dark World's my number one. Just depends on how I'm feeling. Then Iron Man 3. Then Captain America the Winter Soldier. Then, let's see. Trying to think if I'm missing anything. No. Captain America Winter Soldier. Iron Man. First Avenger. Hulk. Iron Man 2. Oh, wait, I forgot the Avengers. How can I forget the Avengers? I always forget the Avengers when I'm listing these off because I'm always listing off their single films. Maybe out of the single films, like with a single hero, like just focusing on one of them, it's like that. Factoring in the Avengers. Do I like... I know I like Iron Man 3 more than the Avengers. It's really hard to explain my reasoning why. This one's really hard because it's so heat of the moment thing. I gotta think about this before I can actually give a definitive answer. It's up there. It's gonna be up there. I might like the Avengers a little bit more than this one, but this one's still a great film. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I just remembered the Pulp Fiction reference. Because at the end of the movie, which I thought was going to be in the middle of the movie from the trailers, the way the trailers are doing it, no, they showed the end scene in like the trailers and commercial spots, but I guess you sort of figure it's in the middle, and then when it isn't, you're just like, what? I guess they cut that scene out, but no, it's at the end. Like literally, they show the last true line of the film in the trailer or a commercial teaser, whichever one I saw it in. They show the last line of the film. It's like the Incredible Hulk trailers when they would show Tony Stark, so people would go see it because Iron Man made a lot of money. And then, yeah. But on Nick Fury's grave, because he's dead, and I'm sorry if you hear that. That TV is really loud. Because towards the beginning he gets shot, looks like he's dead. Toward the middle of the movie you find out he's alive. Then he fakes his death at the end of the movie and they go to his grave then. And yeah. So all in all, this is one of Marvel's better outings. I can see why they hired the directors of Yumi and Dupree for the third Captain America film, and if neither of them back down, I just hope that Captain America 3 wins in the long run against Batman vs. Superman, or whatever they call it. They're gonna have to call it Batman vs. Superman because everyone knows it is Batman vs. Superman. Doesn't matter what they call it now, it's gonna be Batman vs. Superman. That's what everybody's calling it. Unless they call it the Justice League, then nobody will go see it. If they call it Justice League or Man of Steel 2, I don't know how many people are actually gonna see it, because then, oh, is that Justice League? Oh, that's just something. Oh, look, Captain America. But if they have to call it Batman vs. Superman if they want the mainstream audience to actually get their money. If they want the mainstream audience's money, they need to call it Batman vs. Superman. Calling it anything else would be financial suicide. And so this Captain America the Winter Soldier review, which barely talked about Captain America the Winter Soldier, and is significantly shorter than my Thor the Dark World review, because in that one I went over the entire plot of the movie because I had someone else there to bounce off of, but it just feels weird recounting the entire plot to myself, especially if I miss something. Because then I'm just like, oh wait, no, we're back then, and then all that stuff, which even with another person, I still had to do that. And that ended up being 90 minutes. Yeah, it's when look. This one's right now at 20. So let's see what else. Uh, what else can I talk about? Uh, oh, there was that scene with Peggy was really, really good. I almost started crying. If it would have gone on for like 5 more seconds, I would have cried. But then it cuts to Nick Fury and everything just stops because it's all getting serious now and you have to get serious. Like, really? I wonder if that's actually the first time he's done that. I'm just saying, I wonder if that's the first time or if that look that he gave was that it's happening again. So, yeah. Like, he keeps doing that and she can't remember. Wow. Um hmm. Yeah. Really great movie. Go see it if you haven't already, and if you have see it, go see it again because Marvel could really use your money. Because, it's not like they're gonna make back the budget of the entire film in 2 weeks. Although the budget for this was only $200 million, and they're estimated to get a $90 million opening weekend. Which, if they do, that's almost half the budget, sort of. It's like 20 million off, and there are some saying that the actual income's going to be higher, but I don't know about that. But then again, I live in the middle of college town. Plus, we have 3 theaters that were showing this, so who knows? Maybe the other one was super packed. It probably was, because that was the IMAX theater we went to the other theater that's close to my house. It literally is like 2 minutes away. And there's a theater at our mall, which is an IMAX, and it was showing in IMAX 3D, so who knows? Maybe that was totally packed, and they still have a few more showings later tonight. Would I see it again? Probably not in theaters. I mean, if you like it enough, it's good enough for second viewing. Like, I didn't even go see Thor the Dark World in theaters twice, but that was more an issue of I didn't have money. I have money now, but I want to save it, especially because I have to spend $86 to get the Power Rangers seasons. But that's another story. And I'm really bad with my money, as shown by the stuff that I bought recently. This stuff. I'm bad with money. Every time I go out, I always have to spend all my money. I am not going to make it in the real world unless I get a super high-paying job. But I have been known to limit myself at times. Sort of. As my 7 seasons of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and my 2 Benjamin Sisko figures will attest to. Let's hope the camera doesn't fall off because I don't trust this tripod. It doesn't go up anymore, so there we go. Yeah. And this tripod's falling over. So, yeah. There we go. Now the camera's falling off its thing. Yeah. Need to get a new tripod. Need a Power Rangers. Need to save my money for the trip. Man. I just am. Oh, man. Every time I have money, I never buy the right things. Yeah. Captain America. Really good. Yeah. I'm gonna buy it. Then again, that's not saying much considering I bought every other Marvel film. Although I need to get another copy of Incredible Hulk, because that one's not working anymore. Don't know why. Probably left it out and just forgot about it. And then put it up one day and it was damaged. But I got through it just fine. Let's see. Okay. And, yeah. I really like this film. I don't know how to end these videos. Because this is a... I'm guessing this is a Talking Bananas video. Because, you know, Talking Bananas where I do all my movie reviews. So, yeah. America.